Hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here today with you. And y'all know I am on an IVF journey. I don't talk about it too much on this channel because, like, why? But I am switching up my skincare / makeup routine, and I thought you might want to know what products I am using because those are the empties you're going to be seeing here more and more as I finish up old products, get into new products. I thought you might be interested. Now, first and foremost, I am not a medical professional. I went to 0 medical schools, and so I did all my research on the interwebs, and these are the websites I used because I want to reference back if I ever need them. I've got 15minutebeauty.com, whattoexpect.com, nestingnaturally.com, Safe Makeup Project, EWG, Skin Deep Database, and I downloaded an app called the Think Dirty app. Are these run by medical professionals? I don't know. Some of these probably are not. Some of them might have some lab work behind them, but some of them also do talk about ingredients. Some, especially like the Think Dirty app, are very ingredient focused. Whether or not it's safe for pregnancy, it doesn't specify, but it does talk about certain ingredients that you should and should not avoid. Some of those ingredients that they say to avoid does not affect pregnancy, and some of the products that they say are fine, something like chemical sunscreens, are some things I am trying to avoid. So now saying that, let's go through some things I'm avoiding, not avoiding. None of those studies, by the way, I didn't go through any clinical studies, which is interesting. Right? I didn't go through any clinical studies that said, yes, avoid this, or no, don't avoid that. I didn't go through any CDC. I didn't go to any university. There's no scholarly peer-reviewed articles on my list. Okay? Noted. There you go. There were a couple things I'm concerned about and a couple things I am not concerned about. I'm not concerned about mascara, brow products, or eyeliner. Why? They're mostly wax-based products. Waxes do not really absorb in the skin. They stay on top of the skin. So I did not worry about any of those products to research. I also am not super worried about powders, again, for the same reason. They sit on top of the skin. They don't absorb through the dermis itself. So things like powder foundation, setting powder, blushes, bronzers, highlights, as long as they're powders, I'm not super worried about it. So all that type of makeup is, I can use. Things I am concerned about, my skincare. My skincare, I'm concerned about any creams and liquids, so primers, foundations, concealers, all liquid things that I am concerned about. I also don't know what to do about lip products because mostly lipsticks, a lot of them are wax-based, so again, it doesn't absorb, but I do eat some of it. So I think what I'm going to do about lip products, if you know more than me, please leave links down below. I would love more information about lip products. It's one of the ones that's 50-50. If it's highly fragranced, I am no longer going to be using it. I know in my makeup use up lip products this year. I've got a YSL lip product. I know 100% that is fragrance. Most of my lip products I assume are fragranced in some way, but I'm not going to be super worried about it unless I can smell a distinct scent to it. If it is fruit or floral or sweet, then I'm going to kind of back away from that lip product. But if it just seems like a standard all-around lip product, I might continue using it. I'm not going to look up every ingredient because, again, I'm not really eating lip products, although I know technically I do eat part of it or some of it, So it's kind of tricky, lip products, but I'm going to try and keep it as clean as possible, but without going overboard on it. Some things I am avoiding, very strongly avoiding, and this was highly recommended for pregnant women, retinol and vitamin A. It's anti-aging products. That's the big thing is it's basically a chemical you're putting on your face to, and it absorbs into the skin to help a chemical peel almost type of thing. It resurfaces your skin. It was highly recommended to avoid those. Also, I was surprised to see AHAs and BHAs on here, but I guess for the same reason a retinol would be on here, you'd want to avoid AHA or BHA. It's just a chemical. That's all it is. They don't want it to affect the fetus or the baby or anything like that. So they did say vitamin E and vitamin C was okay, which I thought was really interesting. I already use a lot of vitamin C in my makeup routine, in my skincare routine, so I was excited to see vitamin C was okay, but I'll be using that instead of any retin-As or retinoids or retinols. This one was interesting that I thought, at least I thought was interesting, is Oxybenzone, which is a chemical sunscreen. So I'll use a physical sunscreen that's zinc oxide, or titanium dioxide, the mineral sunscreens. I'll just switch to that instead. I need to go out and buy one. I don't own any currently, so I'll just go out and buy one of that, which I thought was interesting. I also found salicylic acid on some lists, not on all the lists. The websites I looked at didn't always 100% agree on things. So, you know, I don't really use a whole lot of salicylic acid in full transparency. I just don't. But there are certain products that have it in there kind of as like just an exfoliator. So I'll keep my eyes open for that and make sure nothing I'm using has a salicylic acid to it. DEAs, BHTs, or taurines. I thought most of my, I don't know, some of these are just things that they're like, oh, okay. And I just kind of went through the list to make sure I didn't have any. Hydroquinine. Not too many products had that one, but I'll avoid that too. That was on like multiple lists, so that is definitely something to avoid. Parabens and phthalates. These are things I've actually already excluded from my skincare brands, so not too many of my products that I found had it in there like currently, but I know in the past I've gone through and I've gotten rid of a lot of brands with parabens in it, and some I was surprised about. Now, the parabens are like they're like good for storing products, right? It keeps the product stable. This is the product you do want to be looking for, is phenyloxyethanol. I found that in a lot of my products, and that basically is, when they took out parabens, they put that in just to keep the product stable and last longer for a shelf life. And so, well, actually when I was looking for parabens, just making sure, I found this product a lot in it. Benzoyl peroxide is out, formaldehyde out, and fragrance is out. Some of these are easier to avoid than others, right? So like formaldehyde is really just a nail polish and like what I use in life. So that's gonna be really interesting. I know my julep is formaldehyde free, so I might focus on that brand more than normal, but I'll have to see if my other brands have it. I didn't do it for this particular video because I've got gels on, but I don't even know if gels are safe. I'll have to double check that to make sure. And then perfume, this is the biggest one. This is the one I had the hardest one to avoid. Probably 90% of the products I have perfume on it. And sometimes perfume is literally the last product listed. But I'm like, ooh, it's perfume. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because my doctor, preparing for my FET or frozen embryo transfer, told me to not wear fragrances. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. They know what I do, by the way. They know I work at Ulta, so they know that I'm around fragrances all the time. I love fragrance. Like, I'm in that fragrance section every day, all day long. But however, therefore, thus, I know that I should not spray fragrance on myself anymore, and I should look for products that are fragrance-free. This was challenging. There were like fragrances in almost everything I was using. Almost everything, but I did find some products that avoided it, so that's what I'm going to be showing you today. I'm going to show you some of the brands, some of the products I'm switching in and out, and yeah, I hope you find this interesting, and I hope that was helpful, like my philosophy behind it. I don't want to go crazy. I'm not going out to like buy anything other than a mineral sunscreen. I'm just pulling from my collection and using products that maybe I either just purchased or ones I've been kind of sitting around for a while and just kind of like hanging out. Let's talk skincare first, because I think that's going to be the easiest to go through. There was one brand that I looked at, and almost everything in that brand was good. So I am going to start incorporating that as like the majority of my skincare, and that is the OC brand. Or as I first said this, OC, but it's OC. This is an algae-based company out of California, but they use, I think it's New Zealand algae, but they use organic algae. And so what I liked about this particular brand is it checked all my boxes. It doesn't have any of the negative products that I was trying to avoid, and it has lots of the positive ones, and it just is all around good products. So out of here, I've got the hyaluronic acid in here, I've got a cleanser, and I've got the atmosphere protection cream. So the official names is the OC Hyaluronic C Serum, the OC Ocean Cleanser, and the Atmosphere Protection Cream. I actually have two cleansers in here, but I'm really excited to give those a go. I've already started using the Hyaluronic Acid C Serum, and it is almost like a gel. It's very interesting. I actually don't normally like gels, but this is like a very thick serum. It doesn't run down your face like normal serums do. When you use the dropper and you squeeze it out, it kind of sticks there until you rub it in like a gel, and then it goes to more of a liquid consistency. But first, it's a gel. It's very unique. I'm liking it so far. We'll see how it goes. But there are some things missing out of that. So the first thing I noticed was missing was a good exfoliant. And I am able to use lactic acid. So that is an exfoliant that I'm looking for, or a physical exfoliant. And I found this one in my collection. This is the Derma E Purifying Daily Detox Scrub with Activated Charcoal. Derma E, I love their vitamin C serum. I haven't used this before. Like, it is still sealed. I don't even remember buying this. I don't know if this was a gift or whatnot, but I'm excited to use it and see what I think about it. This is big. This is 4 ounces, so this will last me pretty much a year. You guys know I like very rarely use like exfoliants like this. I also noticed that there wasn't an eye cream in OC. So I looked around and I found this Algenist Complete Eye Renewal Balm that I can use. This was shocking because when I think of anti-aging, I usually kind of think of retinol, and Algenist to me is an anti-aging brand. But this one I can totally use. Now, I'm not saying this is the cleanest of all brands in the entire world, but there's nothing that affects pregnancy. So I'm very excited to use this one and see what I think, see what I like, give it a good run. Boom, 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 boom. And I now have a face wash, I've got an eye cream, I'm like kind of good to go. I got my exfoliator. But then I saw this and I was like, I wonder if Good Molecules is clean, because they have a really fun way to talk about all their products. So they line them up right like this, and instead of like not telling you the percentage, it tells you the percentage of everything in that bottle. And this one is a niacinamide brightening toner, and this has niacinamide, vitamin C, albutin, and licorice root. So I was like, I wonder if I could use that. I don't use toners very often, but one never knows. Maybe this will be fantastic. And yes, I can use this. So if I want a toner, I've got it, and I'm good to go. Now, I am a little worried about running out of moisturizer, because moisturizer I find a lot of fragrance in, and I don't, like, I didn't understand that. But I found this one. This is the Beekman 1802 Bloom Cream Probiotic Moisturizer. This is a goat milk, colostrum, and milk probiotic. So much lactic acid in here. What is it? What am I allergic to? It's cheese. It's cheese. It is lactose. There's a lot of lactose in here, but maybe it'll be good. I don't know. There's nothing dangerous in here that I found, so that's good to know. I will add that in and see what I think. Now, in terms of actual makeup, the easiest thing for me to find was primers. Very few of my primers had issues. Some of them did, but first and foremost, one of my favorite primers is totally fine. This is the Hourglass Mineral Veil. This is the oil-free broad spectrum SPF 15. I was a little nervous about this one because it has the SPF, but guess what? It's a mineral SPF. I'm good to use this one. Good to go. Very excited that that is there. And then one of my cheapest ones, the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, Universal Shear with Squalene. Now, if you go onto the app that I was using, the Think Dirty app, you will see that this has talc in it. But talc is not dangerous for pregnant women based on what my Google search said. So while whether or not you avoid talc is something different, I'm not avoiding it, so this one's good to go on here. I'm excited about that. And then one of my favorite primers. Yeah, that's right, the Bobbi Brown Mineral Enriched Face Base. This is a vitamin E face base, so totally ready to use and available to use. Super excited that this guy is good to go. You guys know I've been obsessed with this lately, so I'm really excited that I can use that and not worry about it. Like, how great is that? Now, of course, on top of primer, we got to put foundation down. I found 3 foundations in my collection that are good to go, and that will clearly take me longer to use up 3 than I could possibly need. The first one is actually the one I had been using. Thank you. That's really lucky, and it's a Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, broad SPF of 15 again. Very lucky. It is a mineral sunscreen in here. Using it, loving it. Already have a big gap. Look at that gap. Oh my god. Don't run out on me. I love it. This is 1 full fluid ounce. I'm not even halfway done yet. This will last me through a lot. It's medium coverage. I love the way it looks on my skin. Just a little dewiness. Really nice. Then I found Covergirl. I've had this in my collection for years. Only used it probably a handful of times. Yeah. It's my summer shade. That's the problem. It's too dark for me. This is the Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Oil-Free Foundation in the shade 205. I probably should have gotten, what, 85, to be honest with you. It's like 3 shades too dark. But if I get this dark, I've got something which is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm super excited that I've got this and I'm ready to go on it. And then Fenty Beauty seem to be like on the edge for people. Like their Pro Filter foundation, their medium full coverage one, it was iffy whether or not to go in here or not. But I decided no, because there were a couple of ingredients that kind of fell into like a questionable realm of things. But the Eavesdrop, their skin tint light to medium coverage, is totally fine. Which I find funny that one would be fine and one would not be fine. But this is what she looks like. How cute is she? She's like a little gem. She just balances there. Just a little gem, little squeezy bottle. If I wanted something like coverage, I've got it. So I feel good that I've got 3 solid foundations that I can use and I can love on, and I've only tried 2 out of the 3, but I'm hoping Eavesdrop is fine. Everyone tells me how great Fenty is, so like, I already like the Pro Filter, so that's a good sign. I'm excited I've got 3. And one of the hardest makeup products for me to find out what to use while pregnant was setting spray. That's right, y'all. Setting spray. You might be like, why was this so challenging? There seems to be fragrance in every single setting spray I looked at. I looked at Smashbox. I looked at Urban Decay. I looked at MAC. I looked at NYX. I looked at Milani. All of them fragrance. Hourglass for the win. Now, oh, I also looked at Benefit fragrance. This one, no fragrance. Shocking. I must admit, I am not 100% on this guy. You have to shake it up every time you use it. The spray, I'm going to show you. It's one of the finest mists I have ever seen. It's like so fine that you have it says hold it 10 inches away from your face. I bring it a little bit closer because I'm like, I gotta feel it on my face. I gotta make sure it's like landing. And it's just like a little too fine actually for me. If you like a fine setting mist, this might be perfect. This is literally the finest mist I've ever experienced, including the Benefit one, which I enjoy, but it's super fine mist. This one I feel like is in that realm. It does make your makeup stay all day. It doesn't have any mattifying, or at least not that I've noticed, but it does make the makeup stay like looking fresh all day long. Yeah, I'm gonna use this up. That is the only setting spray I was able to find out of my collection without fragrance. So I'm gonna have to be on the lookout for other ones. If you know one, please let me know. I mean, I've got plenty of this left. This isn't even half empty, but I'm gonna work on it and see what I can do. And that is what I've kind of switched up. It's interesting, when I was looking at brands, there were certain brands that you can use anything out of that collection, but then there are certain brands that you really had to avoid some products out of. And then there were some brands that just had 1 or 2 you can use. It was very interesting for me to check it out. I'm excited to be moving forward with these products. I'm very excited about a lot of these products. A lot of these products are like making me more and more excited to use, so that's really great. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions for me about how I found information or what I did, I will do my best to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.